Hi guys. William Lane Craig once notoriously talked about the death of children in the context of the question, how can the death of these children be good? How could a loving God allow these children to die? And he argued that by allowing them to die, they go on to heaven and are recipients of an infinitely greater good. And what he seems to be suggesting is almost that we should all go out and murder our children, because if you do, then they'll get to heaven quicker. I know I'm slightly straw manning in there, but it seems to suggest that almost I guess it's kind of self-evident, really, that in the bigger picture, the death of children now is not all that bad. And another common argument is that the Lord's ways are too mysterious for us to understand, and so when a million people die in an earthquake or whatever, this is there will always be people who die in an earthquake who will not be saved. You could argue, although there's no biblical point to confirm it, but William Lane Craig could well argue that in spite of the fact that we're all born with original sin, that when children die, even if they have not accepted Jesus into their hearts, that they somehow go to heaven. It's a contradiction so far as I can see of what the Bible says, but he could argue that they're innocent because they're kids. But if an earthquake comes and wipes out a million people, or a tornado or a flood or whatever, there's absolutely guaranteed that many of those people will be will not be saved, that they will definitely go to hell according to the biblical view. Just take the flood, for example. The earth was so wicked that everybody on it needed to be drowned. So if they're all wicked, that means that none of them were going to heaven. So what that suggests is that God is quite happy with the idea of collateral damage for the greater good. Now, we can all appreciate the concept of collateral damage, but obviously a system where you have 99.9999999 recurring percent collateral damage to save a family of 5 seems to be a really bad plan for an all-loving, all-knowing, all-powerful God. And it got me thinking really about the nature of the Catholic Church. What got me thinking first of all was the police, that all too often, especially in America, but across the world really, that there have been a lot of really bad police scandals released recently, where police have killed or beaten or raped or abused people, and it's not come out because of the police. In fact, the police have closed ranks and tried to protect. And the same thing obviously happened with the Catholic Church, with all of the paedophilia. And the argument from the Catholic Church was that the sanctity of the church had to be protected at all costs. And it made me wonder if it was possible, even if you believe the biblical point of view, the Catholic worldview, that the good the church did could honestly be said to be so great that it should be protected, that the church should be protected, the sanctity of the church should be protected at any cost. And what a terrible thing that would be to accept, because that appears to say that in actual fact you can break any rules in the Bible, you can do any evil for the greater good. And of course, when you listen to theists argue or debate, that's exactly what they do. They're quite happy to lie and cheat in discussion and misrepresent the evidence for the greater good, in inverted commas. And I wonder how they rationalise that. I don't recall reading any part of the Bible where it says the hierarchy of the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not kill, or thou shalt not covet thy neighbour's wife unless it's needed to kill somebody. They're all fairly absolute. And this idea that the sanctity of the organisation is so great that the collateral damage of lying, the lesser evil of killing people to save more people is worthwhile. It seems to be a very it just seems to be a really sketchy kind of point of view, and anybody who could accept the evils that are done by the church in the name of the greater good, or by the police in the, you know, the closing ranks of the police in the interest of protecting the authority of the police. Clearly, when it comes to the police, the general public doesn't believe that the police should be allowed to get away with stuff, and then that should not be revealed to maintain the authority of the police. And just looking at this recent revelation with the PRISM system, which spies on people, spies on your emails or your phone calls or whatever, clearly the general public doesn't believe that the government should be above scrutiny for the greater good. You know, even in the name of preventing terrorism, most people are not happy with the fact that they're routinely monitored. Yet the church seems to think that it's perfectly fine for the greater good to commit any number of crimes and then cover it up. And, if your church does that, I think you really need to be asking the question, is that a policy that you agree with? And if so, why? And, if you do agree with that policy, I would like to hear your rationale in the answer to this video, or in the comments. That would be fantastic. And where is the line? You know, how much evil can you do? You know, is in your mind, is there a scale? You know, if the evil is, you know, this bad, and then that allows you to lie that much for the greater good, or you know, is it not symmetrical? Is it, you know, for the sake of all mankind, you can kill 95% of mankind, which is obviously God's formula? It seems insane to me. But anyway, be interested to hear your opinions, guys. Thanks very much. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please take the time to rate and comment, and it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe. Thank you.